I'm Stella, and I care about the environment. Not even just the environment, but my neighborhood, with all of its trees and cars and beautiful people. Do you know what really pushes my buttons? When a local economy is thrown off due to the inclusion of an outside force. The health of a food system. Every day we are surrounded by brand names, nothing but Taco Bell and McDonald's all around, and even the occasional Starbucks. What's absolutely amazing about these companies is that they're not just an Arizona thing, they are a world thing. I remember going to Turkey and freaking out because there was a McDonald's there and I hadn't eaten any American food in over 3 weeks. It's amazing how these companies have basically taken over. Then, of course, you have the little guys. That one donut shop you visited with your mom since you were 2, but always had to drive across town to visit because there were no other locations. That amazing cafe down the street with the juice bar and the spin studio. Even the farmer's market that sells completely organic food. Those are all local businesses. But there's a problem. Independently owned local food stores are going out of business. Why is that a problem? Let me tell you a story. So this is what happened. I was driving, my grandma was in the seat next to me, and my cousin was behind me, and we were all talking about school and how our days had been going. I was talking about this huge project I was working on, involving interviewing other people. So I told her my root cause.
Independently owned local food stores are going out of business.
To which she replied, who cares? The only people who care about stuff like that are a bunch of crazy people. I got kind of offended. So did my grandma, I guess.
Well, I'm one of those crazy people.
And that's basically how it played out. But she did, I guess, when you look at it, ask a pretty darn good question. Who cares and why would they care? Is that really a big issue? She didn't know about it, so why should other people? This is a problem because local food suppliers, in general, supply healthy foods. There are the occasional family soul food restaurants, but more and more small business owners are embracing an organic world. Local food stores give you more variety as a customer, liven up the neighborhood, and they support each other in order to keep the community just that, a community. First, what would the world look like without the problem? To be honest, there would be a ton less fast food restaurants at every corner. You'd have a lot of healthier people running around because the majority of local food suppliers are based on the progressive idea of only organic and fresh food. The reason independent and locally owned businesses are going extinct is because big box corporations want to be in control of all trade in the area they occupy, especially food. Food is a moneymaker because it's the one thing that absolutely everyone needs to survive. And again, bringing up Walmart consistently boasts its low prices of food, which has definitely drawn in customers by the thousand. Families, employees, cities, corporate giants, populations, government, and individual people in general are all affected by this problem. Some positive impacts are, products including food and produce at chain stores are generally known as being less expensive, which makes it easier to support a family. More employees are being hired at the new job. Increased revenue from the corporate stores helps with the city's safety and plus money towards the government and aesthetics. They make a ton of money just by starting out in a new place. They become more popular. As the city or town becomes more urban, more people will begin to move in, thus populations will rise. The government ends up getting even more control over American citizens and makes money out of the whole ordeal. And finally, more people are being offered uniform jobs at a mass production corporation. The negative aspects include some families may be the owner of certain local shops and will have to give up and shut down when the new, larger, more popular stores move in. They may lose their old jobs at the locally owned shop and may suffer a pay cut when transferring jobs if they even manage to get a job. Some cities and towns are known for the small shops they contain, and after the loss of those shops and the urbanization of the cities, less and less tourism may occur there. People may go on strike against the new stores, which can lead to negative attention towards the chain. Populations rising may be a bad thing because the city may not be equipped to handle as many people as it contains. People start to hate the government even more than they already do, which, let's face it, they do a lot of the time. And finally, people are given less choice when it comes to buying items, as they are all coming from the corporate giants as mom and pop shops close down. There are definitely some people who are against large corporations and some who are for them. I'm going to use Walmart as an example. I was raised to dislike Walmart because of the poor treatment and low salaries of the employees. When I was younger, I even begged my mom to rent the Walmart documentary because it had a guy with a big smiley face on the cover. It was called The High Cost of Low Prices. Long story short, I hated it and it was boring, but the message it gave stayed with me. As someone on the popular blogging site Tumblr said, I'd be fine paying another 50 cents for fries if it meant that the employee wouldn't have to work 3 jobs in order to stay alive. There are definitely pros and cons. Anyway, the people working on the problem and the impacts of the problem are the New Rules Project, American Independent Business Alliance, Big Box Toolkit, the Center for Corporate Policy, and more, while the most prominent pro-Walmart websites are the Walmart website itself and Walmart Space, which has been inactive since 2007, so you can pick up from that what you will. What the sites and companies are doing mainly is spreading awareness of the way Walmart treats its employees and the flaws of its functioning. Protests against Walmart and other big box corporations have been happening for as long as I can remember, and it's pretty crazy how little has been affected. More and more issues have popped up in government regarding different problems, and the slow extinction of independent businesses has been pushed to the end of the to-do list. Local First Arizona, LFA, is a statewide nonprofit organization working to strengthen communities and local economies through growing, supporting, and celebrating locally owned businesses throughout the state of Arizona. We educate consumers, stakeholders, business leaders, and policymakers about the significant economic, civic, and cultural benefits of strong local economies. We build vibrant communities that make residents proud to call Arizona home, and when people are proud of their hometown, they tend to care more, to volunteer more, to vote more, and give more. They even cheer a little louder when the home team wins. Who are some of my community partners? Local First AZ is constantly working for the side of local business, but thinking smaller, a few stakeholders can be community partners, including local businesses and the public, because in the end, the public is what matters. We already know who's working on this problem. The main thing that groups work on is public awareness, which, after input from stakeholders, I've decided to use as my action as well. I walked around town and addressed Scottsdale Fashion Square and passed out flyers with the address to my blog that deals with this problem to get info out there. I also sent out surveys beforehand to gather some information from more stakeholders. According to the surveys I'd given, one participant said that the only thing that prevented them from shopping at a local food store was the price. This seemed to be a very prevalent theme. Another common theme was that people did not know what mom and pop shops were, and if they did, they just didn't care. The American economy is bad. So bad that it prevents us from living healthy lives, sometimes in order to survive for the time being. The majority of locally owned food stores are self-proclaimed healthy food sources. They manage to draw in quite the audience with their tactics until some of them are shut down because they begin to lose customers. It seems that everywhere, not just locally, the price is what's stopping the people.
Yes, my name is Andrew Varela, and I'm the fearless leader, is what they call me, or co-owner as well of Madison Improvement Club. I think it's really about just continuing to, be innovative in the market that you're in. Starting a local business, right off the bat, it doesn't make money. So it's something you kind of have to truck through and continue to think of new ideas and ways to, get in your community and get people to get involved. Great staff. I think our environment is all about community. So I think, supporting other local businesses is important because then you kind of create that bond. And, what I love about local business is that in a city, you can actually become fully sustainable within that city if everybody is an entrepreneur and supports each other. Therefore, you don't have to rely on the big corporations and outside your local community. We started in September of 2012, we opened. I've always wanted to open a cafe, something that supports healthy and local food. So that's kind of the cafe side of it. The spin and yoga, I think they are a perfect complement to each other. I think the spin, which we call Party on a Bike, is my kind of brainchild of creating a workout that's fun, something that you want to come to, that also is good for your heart and keeps you healthy. But the yoga side, more for the mind and wellness side of it. Well, I think there's pros for the community for sure. For me personally, I think starting your own business is very self-fulfilling. Not having to follow something that someone already has written is extremely great. I don't believe there are any. There's some things that stand in the way, funding and stuff like that, but we've been lucky enough to have enough funding to make it through the first year ups and downs, and we've become sustainable in the last year. We do a lot of different things. One of the things that I'm super proud of is we have a charity that we sponsor every 3 months, and it's a tab on our website called Give, Help, Motivate, and we actually let people in the community submit charities, and as an executive team, we all decide we pick one of the charities for 3 months, and then we do fundraisers and sports. We do a bingo night, we do an Arcadia cruise in which we cruise on beach cruisers to local businesses, as well as we do like a fundraising yoga class and a fundraising swim class. This is my favorite question. So I don't believe in limiting audience ever. The great thing about the Madison is that we have people who are 16 years old who come here, and people who are 75, 80 years old, and it's really great to see the people having just as much fun no matter what age they are, no matter what the music is. We believe our brain and our excitement and our fun here is good for everybody. That's an interesting question because, if we were to do, they say after you do 3, you're a little bit less hands-on. And I believe that because you're now, there's only so much you can do and train and whatnot. Like I can't be at 10 different locations and hands-on.
Happy to come to a place where you love the people that you work with and you're passionate about what you're doing and making people healthy. It's just, I think that's one of the reasons why it is so successful, because that comes out in the employees and through the guests and makes people want to be here.
Everyone has a slice of the cake. They're not just coming here to work a shift. We encourage all of our employees to create something of their own. Kara, actually, when she started here, we encouraged her to start a headband company, which is called 523. So everyone kind of gets to become an entrepreneur. So the company's really taken off. So not only do we sell it here, but she's in numerous stores, has an online store, her and another girl who works up front. So yeah, I think it's the coolest thing for our employees and keeping them happy is encouraging them to do the same thing we're doing, which is create.
How successful was I in the implementation of my plan? Considering the plan was getting the word out, it went pretty well. But when you look into the fact that I haven't gotten much feedback on my blog, you think on whether or not the people used the flyers or just threw them away. Nothing has turned up so far in my ask box, and overall it didn't go as well as I would have liked it to. Because my plan implementation didn't work very well, I have a better idea in order to sustain my plan into the future. I'm going to start making at least 1 post a week on my blog, and starting in May, I'm going to schedule an interview with another local business or big business and post it once it's done. My goal is to gain a large following in order to get the ball rolling, because local businesses don't just affect our now, they affect our future.